we first realized we've got to house the chronically homeless, we knew we had to learn more about their situation. And so we started off with a real simple questionnaire for a group of people that volunteered to talk to us. And what we discovered was stunning, that these 13 people in the 3 previous years had cost our community $1.4 million. And the worst part was, not only was it a lot of money, but we couldn't point to any positive outcomes. We couldn't say, this is what we're getting for our money. So when we put them in our first housing program, we realized that we were helping them get a place to live, get income, improve their health. They were reconnecting with their families. When they compared their last 2 years of homelessness with their first 2 years of being housed, we had reduced their hospital bills by $2.4 million in 2 years, which is stunning.
That same person.
I call them homeless.
Next thing you know, that's in the newspaper, and the next thing you know, it's in the Guardian in London, and it's in the Huffington Post, and it's being written about all over everywhere. Research makes people believe. Data makes people believe.
If homeless had a face or a demographic, it would be a rainbow. When you're driving by and you see someone who's panhandling, to me, it's this sense of, that's my neighbor, so what can I do? You know, what is my role as a person living in the community?
The key to solving homelessness is housing. But then you look at all the programs that exist in the world and how many of them are just about, well, I'll give you a meal. And that's just a very small piece of a much bigger challenge. And so we purposely have created programs, a soup kitchen and showers and laundry facilities and mailboxes and access to telephones. Those are just starting places for people to get on a path out of homelessness. We have a wide variety of services which are necessary to get people from the street to home. And they start with outreach and engagement, where we go out and find people who may not find their way here. Then when they're here, we have basic services that they can access. We have emergency shelter in the winter time. We have drug treatment. And finally, we have permanent supportive housing.
What homeless is not a condition. People aren't homeless because they are drunk and using drugs or mentally ill. They're homeless because there's a lack of housing. There's a lot of people who work every single day and just cannot afford to live here in Charlotte. What we do here, we don't just house people and say, okay, you're on your own. So we build the foundation, we build the relationship, and then we continue the relationship until someone says, thank you for your service, and I'm independent.
The reason we have such a wide variety of services is you never know where you're going to connect with somebody. And so we want to have as many points of connection as possible. Like we often say, nobody's life's ever been changed by eating our soup, but how we serve the soup might make all the difference in the world in whether a person feels welcomed. And so once they start feeling welcomed, then all of a sudden a relationship can develop.
For every new volunteer at Urban Ministry Center, they open up the range of functions here to you to see which one best suits you, as well as which one you really enjoy. And I came here with the notion that I wanted to be a counselor, because I thought that was the only way that I could reach people. So I went to the various functions and I found somebody there who's also a volunteer named Larry. And he works in the laundry, and we just hit it off. And we just have a fun time, and hopefully we're able to touch a lot of lives in our activities here. So. We got an extra bonus kit for you. All right, Derek. Take care.
What's amazing to me about Andre is he was out here just like everybody else. And since he's moved into his housing, suddenly he's out telling the guys he knew on the street, hey, you ought to know more about what I have experienced and you ought to get in touch with. And he's telling them. And so he's actually become an ambassador for our housing program by being a participant in it. So, you just see that kind of thing happening and you're just partner-based.
When I got this apartment, that kind of like put me up there, because, you know, I don't have to worry about somebody killing me out there on the street neither, you know what I'm saying? I'm Andre Wanamaker, and because of urban ministry, I have a home.